Good evening, ladies. Solana is about to break all-time highs, and if you know what that means, Solana's going to be pumping. At some point, it's going to slow down, and all the Solana alts are going to be marked up in very, very quick order, and you can already see that's starting to happen. So in today's video, I want to go through all my top Solana alts, all my Solana beta plays that aren't meme coins. Obviously, we talk a lot about meme coins here, but I don't think meme coins are the only sector that's going to do well in this bull cycle, especially since Donald Trump has been elected. The amount of regulation on crypto is going to relax a bit. So some of these DeFi and Depin and AI coins, they're going to have a little bit more freedom to add utility, add revenue directly into the token. So these tokens are going to have even more fundamental value. And because of that, they're going to get marked up and act as strong beta to Solana, in my opinion. So obviously the amount of volume, the amount of activity, the amount of traders on Solana is non-stop going up, and that trend is not going to decrease, in my opinion. Some days Solana does more volume by itself than the entire Ethereum ecosystem. So Ethereum plus all its layer 2s combined isn't doing as much volume as Solana, yet Solana is still like a quarter of the market cap of Ethereum. And some of these Solana ecosystem plays are at such small valuations that they can really put in much nicer, they can really put in some multiples and act as strong beta to Solana. So obviously with the amount of meme coin activity going on Solana, the dexes are looking really, really strong on a fundamentals basis. The main dex on Solana that I've done a video on before is Radium. So I recommend you watch that video for a full deep dive, but as a quick refresher, here we can see the amount of DEX volume, the percentage of DEX volume each of the DEXs on Solana have. And as you can see, Radium is completely dominating. Now, if you didn't know, well, you probably do know, but all the pump fund meme coins, once they get seeded onto Radium. And it's a virtuous cycle, because the more people use Radium, the more liquidity is going to be on Radium, and the more trades are going to go through Radium because it has the most liquidity. So it's a positive feedback loop for Radium. So it's kind of a winner takes most market when it comes to DEXs. So that's why Radium has been absolutely printing. I think it's done a 3x since my video on it. And if you think the amount of activity happening on Solana and the amount of activity happening on Radium is going to decrease, or like it's just only going to go up, so the fundamentals of Radium are only going to get better. And if we look at the amount of, if we look at the TVL, if we look at the market cap in comparisons to the TVL and the market cap in comparisons to the volume on Radium, it looks fairly valued. But as we know, this is going to increase drastically over the coming months, in my opinion. And it actually looks cheap on some of these metrics as well. So Radium is one of the more obvious plays. It's not a massive market cap either, so I do think it still has a good bit of room to run for the rest of the cycle. Similarly, I did a deep dive into Camino as well, and I think that's gone 3x since my video like a month ago too. So Camino is a borrow lend platform. I think everyone kind of knows what Camino does. Also, you can provide liquidity there for these coins as well. So I'm not going to go deep into Camino, but another coin, like I think the DeFi renaissance that people are calling for, it's going to be happening on Solana. So they're two of the main DeFi protocols on Solana, the two biggest ones, the Borrowland platform in Camino and the DEX in Radium. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll start to know what my favorite sectors are. So obviously, meme coins aside, my favorite sectors are AI and Depin. And what coin kind of fits the bill on these two really, really nicely that I've been talking about for a while, that you could have farmed this airdrop and got a nice airdrop that is pumped like 5x off the token generation event, that is Grass. So what does Grass do? Basically, you install this little extension on your laptop or on your computer, and it scrapes the data, scrapes the web, and sells that data that you've scraped for AI companies to use for, like, data is the new oil. Data is so important now for AI. Like, everyone can train a model. So right now it's like whoever has the access to the most data, and Grass is making it accessible to more companies using people's computers to scrape the web. So I think But once their amount of users that they have is just growing exponentially and it's still going. And I think this is you get paid out in grass tokens for providing this service for these companies. And basically all you have to do is install this little extension and you're basically printing free money. So I think that's a very normie friendly idea. So potentially a lot of normies are going to do this because, you know, there's not really much downsides. But on top of that, it's providing a really, really valuable service. I think there's only 2 companies in the world that can scrape the entire internet, and that's Google and Microsoft. But now, Grass is challenging these 2 absolute behemoths, and it's like a $3 billion market cap for this coin. So if you don't want to buy the coin, you can at least download the extension and get the airdrop for whenever it happens. Like, it's not a huge airdrop that you'll get because you don't have to put up any capital to get this airdrop, and you're just basically selling your excess bandwidth. So you can use my link in the description if you want to set that up and get the free airdrop, or you can look at buying this coin yourself, but obviously it's pumped a lot, so potentially wait for an entry on it. But really, really, really interesting project nonetheless. So one of my favorites for this cycle. The next one is Jupiter, and I feel like most of you probably use Jupiter every single day, and Jupiter is a DEX aggregator. So when you buy something on Jupiter, it goes to all the different DEXs, simulates a transaction, so it goes to all the DEXs I mentioned at the start. It goes to Radium, it goes to Orca, it goes to Meteora, and sees, okay, which DEX am I going to get the most liquidity? Which DEX basically am I going to get the best price to make this trade? So Jupiter just automatically does that and routes the best trade for you. And all of the bots, they're all routing through Jupiter, which is then routing through whichever DEX is offering the best price for you. So there's an insane amount of volume on Jupiter. I think it's in the same order of magnitude. Well, not even the same order of magnitude, like pretty neck and neck with Uniswap. So Jupiter has an insane amount of volume. People are going to look at that. On top of doing all this DEX volume, it also has perps, and its perps product is getting a lot of traction as well. People love their perps exchange on there, the decentralized perps exchange that they have. They also have a bridge, so people can bridge from Ethereum to Solana easily, and they also have a launch pad. So it's kind of it is quite a high market cap. So, you know, potentially some of the other plays have a better risk to reward, or better upside potential, but Jupiter is kind of, you know, if you're using Jupiter, you're going to get the airdrop in a couple of months. They're doing another airdrop in January, so you have that to look forward to. But yeah, on top of that, like, it's a one-stop shop for a load of different services in the Solana ecosystem. So one of the safest plays you can make on Solana that should act as beta to Solana. Another one that we should mention that's also quite a high market cap is Jito. So that's basically liquid staking, just like Lido is for Ethereum. And yeah, it's one of the biggest liquid staking protocols. Like, most people stake with Jito, and you get MEV rewards on top of the staking reward. So it's actually like 7% APY on your Solana, so it's really, really good. It also has flash bots. It also has flash bots and does the MEV stuff as well. So good fundamentals coin, and probably should outperform Sol from this point onwards. And a really, really strong team. I might do a full video on Jito at some point in the future, but just a quick one to mention on it as well. The next coin we're going to talk about, I talked about this extensively, so I'm not going to go deep into it, but I'll link previous videos where I talk about it, is Nasana. So Nasana is the centralized compute platform and one of the strongest plays on Solana. AI play on Solana, not much more need to be said on that. Another Depin project that I love, that I've done a full deep dive on, is Honey, which is Hive Mapper, which is basically mapping the entire road data. You put this little camera, you put this little device on your car, and you help map the entire world, and you get paid for doing so. So you can either give your compute power with Nasana, or you can give your mapping data to Hive Mapper. So they're 2 really interesting Depin plays on Solana that I really, really like. The last Solana alt, or the Solana play that I'm going to mention, is Parcel, and this is in the real world assets space. And we farm this airdrop as well, so we're going to airdrop for doing that. But essentially what it's trying to do is you're basically going to be able to, or you already can, trade perps on real estate. So really, really novel, interesting idea. Hasn't been done anywhere in the world before. Really, really cool. And it's being done on Solana. So definitely one to look into. Basically allows anyone to speculate on the housing markets of different cities around the world. So if you think a lot of people are moving out of this city and moving into that city, you can short that city, you can short the real estate market in that city and long the real estate market in another city. So really cool idea, especially if you know a lot about real estates across the world, or you can even hedge the price of your house or something. All right, so they're my favorite Solana plays for this cycle. Obviously, I'm like balls deep in the Solana ecosystem, and I want to learn as much about all of the different plays on Solana to try and outperform Solana. And even though I do think Solana is going to perform extremely well in this cycle, why not try and even outperform that as well? So I hope you like this introductory video. If you want me to do a deep dive on any of the coins I mentioned in this video, let me know in the comments. And if I haven't done it already, I will do that. Or any other Solana alts that you think are interesting. Maybe give me a little description on what they are. And then if I think it's interesting enough, I'll dive deep into it myself. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.